Hi, Gods and Medicine on PlayStation and Medic Maniac on YouTube. So here I am with the PES 2021 season update, and I thought I'd just bring you up to date with the state of the playthrough that I'm doing for YouTube, which I've been continuing. I've just finished season 2 a bit ago, and all the footage for season 2 is up. There's a couple of mistakes in there to do with numbers of the videos and stupidly deleting a couple of goals that should have gone on the goals, at the end of the season and stuff. So always I shall strive to not make mistakes, but we all do, don't we? So hopefully in season 3, which I'm playing through and capturing the footage of, I've got one episode made, so I'll have to dedicate some time to editing. I think I'm just over halfway through the third season, and I've been capturing everything, and I've got space on my hard drive to capture it, etc. So that's all taken care of. So it's just about finishing off the season and then editing the videos and getting them out there. Currently in that, an important bit about the third season is that due to PES's finance issues, and this is a critique of PES, from PES players and PES playthroughs that I've seen, is the finances of how it works in the season. I can't sign players that I wanted because I've had to do transfer negotiations with players to keep certain players that I want to grow in the club and for team chemistry and stuff, and that's taken me over my salary budget. And because there's a very good support striker that I really would like to sign who's quite young in that playthrough, and I can't. Anyway, what I thought I'd also keep up to date on, because I showed a while ago about stuff that I was working on in the PES editor. So I'll show you what I've done in the PES editor. As well as the things that I'd already done, I've kept, like teams that I've put in fluid formation, and there's still a bunch to do. I've taken the fake leagues, like the PEU league. Now, my channel, like years ago, I'd like to play around with the PEU league and the fake leagues. I did a PLA playthrough, and I showed a few things that I did in the PLA playthrough on my channel. But I've done a playthrough specifically from the PEU league. And a lot of people do different things with PES. There's all these mods where you can get the real kits and the real team names and and all that. And they try and do realistic players and all that. I don't do that. I just don't, because I treat PES as a video game that it is, and the editor is for me to play around with and do things that I want to do. So that's what I do. So before, I made up names for teams based on video games, because PES is a video game. And PES United is a team in PES based on it, the video game. So I just do that. So for example, I've showed this before. Dawnstar United. Dawnstar is a place in Skyrim. Canalave City. Canalave is a place in Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. Port Town is F-Zero. Seacrest County is based on Ridge Racer, and also it's mentioned in Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, which was by Criterion, who did Burnout, and they liked Ridge Racer and stuff. Anyway, Castle Villa, as I've mentioned before, is a take on Castlevania and Aston Villa. Ridge County is my team that I generally use, and I assign it to this one, which I can't pronounce, with an X. I try and do team names and logos to go together, so Castlevania with the knight thing, and you know, um, I try and sort of do that. Casadis Town with the from Dragon's Dogma with the snake there. You know, some kind of game reference, and the laurel there sort of thing for Ridge County based on Ridge Racer, which is my favourite arcade racer of all time. Classic Ridge Racer. So anyway, I'll show you what I've done. So you can see that the teams are all like 5 stars, and I've gone through every single player. And I've gone through every single team in the PEU League. I've made multiple kits for each team. I've gone through every player's facial, physique and animation, and in some cases positional, based on their team, how they played, and I've tried to keep that, and I've put them all in fluid formation, etc., etc. The only thing I haven't done is some kind of balancing. And I was kind of like, I didn't know how to structure the levels of players, the, you know, like overall level or individual level of certain attributes and stuff. So eventually, sort of playing around with it, I decided that I was really going to do some crazily good players here and there, you know, and in that have some really sort of crazily good teams, and that's how it was going to be. I've and ahed about balancing stuff, and I might balance, you know, things individually and that, but essentially I think I like keeping the kind of real high-end stuff, because one of the things about PES is I've done playthroughs where I've used the base players as they come out the box, and the reason I chose this one to be my team was it was the worst one that I could find. The team consisted out the box of so many right backs like you won't believe, and some of the attribute levels were just awful for some of the players. They had a couple of decent ones-ish for that kind of level, but it was a terrible team. And I've used, over the years, I've used PES out the box as they come and the fake teams. And I remember on PES 2013, it had all the stadium editor and stuff. So I did all the kits, all the stadiums, to all of the fake teams, and I gave them all individual names, and I used I had save files, individual save files for the different teams, where I'd use their basic team out of the box, and I'd trade between fake teams on, you know, and try and look for within the budget, try and look for, you know, gems and all that. So over the years, I've done all that, and play it on the hardest difficulty as well, because I'm just that insane. So I've done all that in the past, and so for this one, being the last iteration of PES, I thought, well, you know, go bonkers, mate. And so I've gone bonkers. I've gone completely bonkers. Arcade Rovers based on Resident Evil, even with the keys. You don't get a knight key or a helmet key there, or, you know, a shield key or whatever, a lion key or whatever they did in that game. But yeah, I've gone a bit bonkers, and they've got some insane skills, like really. You know, so why not? Because it's there and it's a video game, and I can play with it, and I can do what the heck I want with it. So that's what I've done. So yeah, so the PEU League is complete. I've started work on the PLA League, and I've renamed this unfortunately named team. I've renamed it Jubilife City, which is another in the Pokemon Whiterun. Whiterun Town I derived from Skyrim, obviously Whiterun. So I'm going to do the same sort of thing again and try and think of all video game names and stuff, but I started work on this one and I've kind of gone like a level less than the PEU League, which I thought would be fun. To have like an insane league, which is the PEU League, and then kind of like just tone it down a bit for this one and for the Asian fake Asian team, which is the PAS team, PES Asia. So I've got all that to do. It takes a lot of work, and I did get a lot of burnout, and it takes an insane amount of work. When you're going through every single player and all that. But it's something that I wanted to do, and I've always got the game, and so I can always play with it however I like. I've done team banners and stuff, and all that. So I've got this to play around with. So I might do some matches with these teams or against these teams or whatever, and you might see some things uploaded from them. So I thought I'd give you a breakdown of how season 3 is progressing in the capturing footage, and I'll have all that to put together. That's going to take some time, but I thought I'd show you what I'd done. So that's my little update on PES. So once again, whatever you're doing, take care.